We can start. Welcome, everyone. Welcome to this session. I'm really thankful for all of you that you all have joined and you are sparing your time to study this new concept that has come, and it has revolutionized how companies used to operate to grow their businesses. So I think we have spoken a little bit about me. This is all the companies that I've worked with and the companies that I've consulted with so far. This is what I'm doing currently. I am the global lead at Walmart, and I have recently published a book. Over the course of 10 years, I have launched India's first payment SaaS, India's first AI banking, worked with all the unicorns in India. It has been a very wonderful journey for me, understanding this concept of PLG and also experimenting with it in the Indian context. Now, that is the beauty of it. PLG is a concept which is quite famous in the world because few of the companies that have grown drastically and exponentially using this. However, when it comes to the geographical dynamics, this strategy needs a delicate touch, and that's what we would be largely talking about how we can do it. We would also be covering a few more details which will give you an overview of what PLG is. Uh, Before we even start the discussion, Harleen, I want everyone who has joined to help me understand if they find any similarity, any common theme between all the companies that are listed here. And you all can send your answers over the Zoom chat. My question is that if you see all these companies here, which are listed, Mixpanel, HubSpot, Grammarly, Zoom, Miro, Calendly, Freshworks. Do you find any common theme? If you do, please share it on your chat. And I hope people can chat, Arlene. All are SaaS companies. Yes, Amit and Mahar said all are SaaS companies. Uh, Typeform is Typeform is not a SaaS. Yes, somewhat they are SaaS. Figma is not a purely SaaS company, I would say. Yes, a lot of them are SaaS companies because SaaS companies are the ones who started PLG. Anything else? Yes, few of them are actually SaaS companies. A lot of them are actually SaaS companies, barring a few: Canva, Figma, Sketch, Typeform, Slack. Anything else apart from being SaaS companies? Anyone else? Any other guesses? Please go ahead. Please go ahead. Whatever you feel is the common theme among them. I think someone has asked a Q&A as well. Product led. Rashi says product led in Q&A. No? All right. So we'll move on. Basically, in all these companies, the common theme is simply that the product has been the primary driver for acquiring customers, for growing the customer base, for retaining those customer base which you have grown, and also expanding, basically making those customers who are your core customers, making them pay you more. For example, you come to me today, you are paying me $100. I want you to pay $200 tomorrow. How do I get there? And these companies have actually done that using their product. That is the core capability of all these companies. And oh, Rashi says that she is unable to chat. Helen, can you please check on that? Helen, am I audible?
Yes, yes, I'll just look into it. Thank you for letting me know.
All right, thanks. All right. So moving on now, how did they do this? How did they use product to do everything? Where other companies are hiring sales, customer service, they're hiring so many operations folks, they're investing a lot of money into acquiring customer, into retaining them. How did they do it using just their product? They did it by using very customer centric approach. And what do I mean by customer centric is that this has to be the user at the core of every problem that you solve. The second thing is they took very data backed decisions. All the decisions that they took in terms of what they want to launch, what they want to roll back was all data driven. And lastly, they ensured that during all the changes that they're doing, whenever they are upgrading, whenever they are growing the customer base, they wanted to keep the user experience really seamless. Now, imagine you want to start a product, but at the very start, you feel like you have to share a lot of information before even going into the product. That is a hindrance because now I have to share information. I have to enter something which I probably do not remember. For example, if I want to onboard a customer and I want the customer to enter their address, right? That's a big chunk of data that you are asking the user to enter. Now, addresses in India are very different. There are places where you will find street names. There are places where you'll find there is no street name. There are places where you won't even find house names. How do you get to those customers? You cannot just target on the metro folks where everything is structured. So the core of this is it has to be really seamless. Now, the common theme, as Rashi said, is yes, you are correct, Rashi. They are all product led. They are all product led. They all grew leading through their product. Now, how did they do that? This diagram on the right hand side is the very core and very the core concept of product led growth. How it works. For example, the first time, imagine the first time you all thought about buying a smartphone. We all were using feature phone once upon a time, but then we thought that no, we'll not do that. We'll buy smartphone. Now, if I go back to that phase, it was somewhere in 2011, 12. I've spoken to a lot of other folks as well, where we basically wanted to understand, hey, why did you buy smartphone? So there were two, three factors. One definitely was that this one device can do a lot of things. People wanted a device with multiple capabilities. Number one, so it could you could use it to capture images, you could use it to check your emails, you could use it to chat, you could use it to record videos, you could use it to do a lot of things, listen to FM. So it's one device which solves a lot of problem. And that's one of the reason why you thought about buying it. Then you saw a lot of friends doing it, a lot of other people doing it, or maybe you were the one of those people who did it the first time and other people saw you and then they thought that I'll go for it. Even within your family, someone saw your phone and said that, you know what, I would also like to have that. So basically what happens, the concept is that whenever a new product is launched into the market, the users are pretty much stranger to that product. Like company folks, everyone who is within the company, they are aware about what the product is, but users aren't. And they are the ones who are going to give you money. Employees aren't. So how the journey begins. So you're a stranger, you do not know what has come. Then you hear that, hey, something is there which is solving a lot of problem. So you start exploring. While exploring, you also evaluate. So you start evaluating whether I should buy or not. During that evaluation, you feel that these are the few products that I should explore. You start exploring. Within that, this is where the product journey starts. This is where the product journey has started. The customer has come to your product. The product journey has actually started there. From there, it basically the customer onboards. Now you started using smartphones. You started using smartphones back in those days. You started using it more and more and more. You, from a beginner stage, you went to a regular stage where it became a part of your daily life. You started setting alarms on it. You started storing grocery lists on it, so on and so forth. And over time, you have, today if you look at, there are so many apps that you have in your phone. I can guarantee none of those for none of those apps the company had sent you a salesman or someone to represent the company for you to download them. So now you are using it on your own. You are doing everything. You are uninstalling. You are updating. You are setting everything. Nowadays people are also setting limits that when how much I should use this app. Digital well-beingness is built into the product. So now you are championing. You are someone who has very good hold over this device. You know what to do, you know what you want, you know which brand attracts you, you know which are the capabilities you want. So now you're a champion of it. Now that you're a champion of it, you start advocating it. You start talking to other people about it. You start saying that, you know what, this is a good phone. You should buy it. And that's how the cycle begins. And every product that you've seen in the last slide, these products did that. They just did that. So today we are going to explore how they did that, how to imbibe this into your own product and into your own domain and into to everything that you do. So that's basically product led growth for you. And we are going to explore all these aspects. Before we even move on to the entire topic, what I want to all of you to do is to scan this QR code. Once you scan this QR code, you would get a screen on your mobile phone. Now, in this session, we would have case studies, we would also have quizzes, right? So during these quizzes and case studies, we would be basically trying to assess a lot of understanding that will drive an understanding. The medium of all the quiz and assessment would be via the QR code link. This is one where you get to share your own self, so that I know better. I know a bit about you. You have known a bit about me. That helps me structure how we are going to talk today, the examples that we are going to give, and a little bit of understanding about each other. If you have any problem with scanning the QR code, please give me a uh, ping on the chat. Okay, if every one of you have scanned, then please give me a chat that I have scanned. If anyone is facing problem, you can tell me if you are having a problem with this. I can also share the link over the chat so that it becomes easier for you. Just give me 1 second.
Hi Sankalpa, I shared the link, so I think it should be
Share the
fine.
link.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Okay,
Thank you so
great.
much, Arlene.
No issues.
All right. So if everyone has done scanning, if you are not scanning, please go ahead and use the link on the chat, and you would be landing on something where you would need to enter. Now here, if I'm ready, you can see, all of you can see my screen. If I'm, yes, all of you can see my screen. So now if you see this screen, this is where you would be entering your domain and your expertise. For example, if I am entering this, I would enter fintech and retail 10 years. That is my domain and my experience. So please go ahead, enter. You will also get to know your fellow participants in a bit. I see four people have already participated. I see there are 24. So I would have a number 24 out here. Yes, let me show the results. Okay, software services 25 years. 10 years, 15 years, banking, IT solutions, automotive. We have a very mixed bag. This is brilliant. Fitness tech, amazing. Thank you so much for joining us. I believe fitness tech has a lot to do with PLG these days. HR Tech, another SaaS platform which people are exploring to do PLG these days. Fintech definitely is. The wonderful part is that we have not realized that we have already done PLG a lot earlier than this concept had come. You all know something about recurring payments, where you set your preferences one and every month it pays. For example, when I'm paying my insurance bill or when I'm paying my electricity bill, we have already done that. So I have onboarded on the product. The product is driving everything. The product is driving my growth. The product is driving all the user experiences as well in within them. So we have already done a bit. Now that's not a really very big product. It's a chunk of it. So we do not correlate it with PLG, but it's a part of it where the product actually drives transactions. Now the product is driving all the transactions. 12 transactions driven by the product, not by the users. Okay, so we have around 8 participants who have participated. There are 25 people. Has everyone scanned and entered? If there is a problem, please let me know. Please understand, this is the format in which you will get quiz. I have a surprise for all of you at the end. At the end, for all the quiz participants and the winners, there will be a surprise. So I would really appreciate all of you to participate and share your experience with me. This is going to help us know you better. Yes, I will reveal the next slide will reveal a lot around what we are going to get. So please type. I would give another 2 minutes for all of you to enter your domain and your experience. I can see there are around 24, 25 people. Please, 22 people. Please, go ahead and enter your details here. Has all of you entered? Or anyone, if any one of you is left or want to enter, please drop a chat. Before, if I move to the next slide, you will not see this slide anymore. Anyone left? No? Shall we move? If anyone is left, please give me a chat. On the chat option, you can enter if you want to. Yes? Anyone left? Medical equipment, sales and support. All right. Anyone else? I have 11 people here. There are 22 of you. Now more. There are 23 of you. All right. Moving on. Oh, I see 2 participants entering. All right. We have only 12 out of 23, 22. We have only 12 people. Rest of you, I am assuming you do not want any freebies at the end. Okay. Moving on. The next question that I would ask all of you is to give me an understanding about how much have you learned about this. If you still see the link on the chat, click and please participate here so that we get to know. So what I'm trying to understand is that how familiar are you with the topic? Are you someone who knows the topic and have done it? You're an expert. You have some basic knowledge, have learned around it. You do not know anything around it, so on and so forth. So please go ahead and start entering. I'll get to the results in a bit. There are 7 people who have participated, 8. I want to see around 22 at least here, minimum 15. Please go ahead and park how much you know about it. It is going to help us with the examples, which will help you understand the topic in detail. This is something which is very crucial as well. This is crucial because the numbers that these firms are doing are phenomenal, and this strategy has worked a lot. So 9 people. Anyone else who wants to? Most of you have some basic knowledge around it. There are 10 people who have participated so far. Anyone else? I think there were 12 people in the last one. I would see around 12 minimum. Please move, everyone participate in this so that everyone can understand and learn from each other. So around most of you have some basic knowledge around it. You have known this, you have understood, or you have done something around it. Definitely this term is something that you have heard elsewhere, because this is quite a spoken term these days. It's quite a viral term these days, PLG. All right, 11 folks have said, around 11 and 50% of you have very basic. 36 are completely green, and 9% have solid background. Anyone else who wants to participate here? Moving on. So now in this slide, you see the issues that you are facing, the challenges that you are facing in your organization today. So what are the challenges that you are facing in your organization today? Just name the one challenge that you are tasked to solve in your organization. Is it improving retention? Is it increasing revenue? Is it driving down cost? Is it enhancing the user experience, or is it something around changing the corporate culture? People with more experience probably would choose this, but please go ahead and answer. This is going to help me understand also what are the problem statements that today you are facing within your firm or within your career, which you could use this information to overcome. Yes, you can go ahead and select this option. Can you all select one of the option here? Yes. Yes. Improving retention is one of the largest. One person has responded. Please go ahead and select these options. Enhancing user experience. Now we are having more users. Yes, yes, please. So 3. Improving retention is still on the top. Anything else that is a core problem, please go ahead and share here. We are not going to use this information. We are not capturing any personal information of yours. This is largely a survey to understand the problem statement that you are facing. So 3 people have participated, and around I think improving retention is still the largest one. Anyone else who wants to participate here? Please, please. I think there were many people. There were 25 people, 24 people. I should say around 24. Please, guys, please tell me what is the problem statement that you are facing today in your organization. What is the one challenge that is you are having as someone who has to solve those? Improving retention still seems the highest one.
Mr.
Yes.
Jitin in the chat has said his answer is acquisition.
Increasing revenue, that means you are acquiring to increase revenue, right? You can choose revenue. Yes. Anyone else? Only 4 people have problem. All of you have no problem at work. Brilliant. Amazing. This is amazing because we face a lot of problems at work. So I'm assuming you would also. There are always challenges that you face as an organization whenever you are intending to grow. So I believe everyone else is doing pretty well in their life. Very nice. But still you have joined the call. Amazing. So 7 people have, I think, still okay. So this, what shows that if you look at this diagram and every 7 people have answered, if there were 20, we could have seen a very healthy mix of it, and you could actually understand how a PLG case study or PLG user study would look like. This is one of the key area that we survey on. What do we want to do? This is a key area of survey which we conduct within the company to understand what sort of problem everyone is facing. Now, if you see, retention, revenue, and experience is something everyone is facing. Very few people have selected driving down cost and changing the corporate culture as well. So, what do we see in this? We witness that these are the areas where every other business would face one or two problem. And this is very normal because when you are growing as a company, you would want to scale faster, and while you are scaling faster, it is very normal that your competition will play some trick. They'll make something which is viral. They'll try to play with cost. They will try to release a feature which you are working on and we both are working on faster. So there's a lot of competition in the market, and how do you overcome them? So these 3 problems remain as a part of it. Thank you so much for sharing your problems with me. This helps us understand you better and also structure the overall topic. Now, what are the topics that we are going to cover today? The first and foremost thing that we are going to cover is why PLG is so important. The second part would be around principles and frameworks, the science behind PLG. The third one would be how you, as a product leader, would be effective in driving PLG. And then we'll go into the strategy, the metrics, and a few case studies. We'll also talk about at the very end what are the non-negotiables for you as a product leader. And if you all participate in the quiz, you will get gifts. And for the ones who do better, who follow the session and answer all the questions correctly and tops the leaderboard, there's a special gift for all of you. Suresh, you are unable to respond. I have closed the Slido and now you won't be able to respond. All right. If you are still facing problem with Slido, we will do a test when we get to the quiz. Because if you are facing a problem with the quiz, we'll make sure that you are able to attend. All right. One key thing to be noted whenever we open the chat or the audio or we go to the Slido, please try to access the link within the first 2 minutes of sharing. This is going to help us and other participants also, because we are very, very, very careful about the time that every one of you are sharing. It is thank all of you are sharing your precious time with me, with you're sharing your time. So please be mindful of your participants' time as well. That is going to help all of us to learn faster, learn a lot more things, and we intend to make it a lot more interactive. But yes, uh, having said that, moving on to the first and foremost area. Now, why product led growth works? This is a question that a lot of product leaders would be asking. A lot of leaders would be asking. The first thing, if you go ahead and tell your CEO that, hey, you know what, we should do product led growth, the question would be why. And this slide actually answers the why. So, what this slide says is around 88% of the users will admire the product because of the experience. If the experience is good, 83% of users agree to go for an easy trial. So if your experience is good, out of 90%, 80, 100%, 88% would be like, hey, you know what? The experience is good. So I want to test it out. Out of them, 83% says easy trials. If you have easy trials, I will definitely test it out. So if you have these two, that means you are gaining a lot, many people on the top of the funnel. Okay. Moving on. Third point is self-service. 80% of the users want to self-serve themselves. For example, today, if I want to change my branch that my banking account belongs to, there are two different banks that I am associated with. One of the bank is allowing me to change the branch using the app, and the other one is not. The chances are I'll bank with the one that is, because I can, whenever I'm moving around in my job, I can quickly shift that branch from, place A to place B within the city, outside the city, anywhere within India. If I'm able to do that, I'm going to prefer that bank forever, because that is going to help me. And if that happens, the way I'm speaking right now, I'm actually doing a referral. If I would have taken the name of the brand, you would have gone ahead and searched because it looks nice. So referrals drive a lot of acquisition. It is more or less driving the rate of conversion increases drastically. For example, if I come to you as a salesman and tell you that, hey, you know what, this is a product that is going to help you. This is a product where if you invest, you will gain a lot of wealth in the next 5 years. Now I'm not coming as a salesman. Now you're someone in your family, your friends are telling you, you know what, this is a product which is really, really good. You should test it out. This is giving me this much gain, and you're in the way you are processing these two, the words are same, the action that you would take is exactly same, but the motivation level is entirely different. So this referral actually increases conversions. There's a 3x conversion rate than normal sales driven conversion. Hence your profitability and your revenue increases. It scales like an exponential curve. And these numbers actually are the testament of why this has worked. It is expected that PLG industry is going to increase up to 50 billion by 2025. Average revenue per employee, as a leader, when you're leading a team, you're responsible for productivity. There's a 25% increase in average revenue per employee. And if you are in a startup, or if you want to work in a startup, or if you want to invest in a startup, or if you want to open a startup of your own, you are likely to get 30% more funding. Basically, if it is a 100 crore deal and I am having a non-PLG and you are having a PLG, you will get 30 crores more. Say we are in the same competition, you are ahead of me right then and there. So with this question, this basically talks about why this is so important. This is going to scale your business, as simple as that. Unlike anything, because product is with the customer 100% of the time. However, your salesperson is not. And this is the reason why it is working so much. Product becomes an extension of it. Now, as a product leader, you know, one area of concern that, and one area of, I would say, focus that you should have is, how do I drive this? How do I drive this? Because this is not one person's job. This is not a single team's job. This is done by a multi-talented team. And in this multi-talented team, all the members in this team have to align. PLG requires coordination and alignment. Because if I'm not coordinated, if I'm not aligned, then I cannot do anything. Here's an example. Imagine you are playing football, right? You have a team. Now, your goal is to shoot the goal into the goal box of other team. However, your team is not aligned. I want to pass someone at the front, that person is running behind. I am passing, that person is not looking at me. So if it is not coordinated, it's like, hey, I want to run a marketing campaign, and the other person is like, you know what, I have to check my priorities. It's not going to work. Everyone has to align. As a leader, you have to drive that alignment. Hence, these four pills that you see here are the golden pills for you as a product leader. Number one, your team should be multifunctional. It is just that if I hire someone from product, and if I keep hiring only product managers, I do not hire growth, I do not hire someone in analytics, it is not going to help me. I need a team with a healthy balance of people who would be good at marketing, good at product, good at understanding analytics, good at driving numbers through through initiative, someone who can take a lot of initiative to generate the demand, someone who can crunch the numbers at the back, what are the resultant numbers in terms of revenue, and also someone who would be very empathetic towards the user so that they can help the user succeed. So how do we operate? We create pods, right? We create pod where you put a product manager and you put all other team inside it, and you say that your job is to drive this product success. For example, if I'm launching a subscription product which says that if you subscribe to my newsletter, or subscribe to this product, you are going to get product newsletter, you are going to get a lot of support, you are going to get the latest news that is coming up, you are also going to get exams so that you can test your knowledge, you are going to get you can share the JD, will give you interview questions and sort out like that. I need a team to run it. I cannot have this. This is a vision. As a leader, I am trying to drive them. So multifunctional expertise is the core of it, and they have to align. The third one is, you as a product leader have to measure the outcomes. It is like someone mentioned that acquisition is their goal. Now, if that person is not measuring the acquisition, that how much I have acquired, how many customers I have acquired, how much money I have spent to acquire them, how much money are they going to generate, if we do not have this clarity, why are we acquiring, that outcome is not going to scale. That outcome is going to scale to a point and then it's going to fail, simply because it is non-sustainable over time. And here financial model is not working. So outcome has to be measured, and only then we know how much we have gone. For example, if I'm driving from this place to any one of your house, and if I do not measure how much I have traveled, and if you call me, ask me that, hey, Sankal, where are you? And I'll be like, no, no. And that's not allowed in PLG. We should have answers. If you measure, then we can improve it. If you do not measure, we cannot. And the fourth is adaptive strategy. So for example, imagine that we all are in a ship and we all are tasked to move from point A to point B. If all of us knows how to hoist the masts, then all of us will be doing that. But we do not want that. We want someone to navigate. We want someone who can have those who can run those ammunitions to save us from pirates. We would want someone to help us fix if there are any repairs to be done within the ship during the course of the journey. We want someone who can help us who can help us chart out the ocean. We need someone who can help us chart out the direction. So we need all the people. We need everyone to align that, hey, we want to reach from point A to point B and we will reach there. Otherwise, we'll all be like Christopher Columbus. We will want to reach India but reached America. But we do not want that. And adaptive strategies like the sea, even the market, sometimes it's well, sometimes it is down. Sometimes competition has something new, so it's not working for you. Sometimes it's festive season, so users are not buying, they are not subscribing to your product. There's a seasonality which hits, you have to adapt to it. Anything can happen. Like for example, when demonetization happened, a lot of businesses were impacted because they were hardly where they never invested in digital payments. So adapting your strategies, adapting whom to target, whom not to target, how much to target within that cohort, so on and so forth, how much to monetize, which users to monetize, you have to adapt them as we grow along. Because there will be times when you will not have the bandwidth to acquire new customer. You have to make money from the existing base. There will be times when you have to acquire customers, not giving any thought to the cost because you have to grow the top line. So you have to adapt your strategies accordingly based on what is the current organizational goal. Now, what is the role of a product leader? Before I even move to this, is there anyone who has any questions around the first two slides that we talked about? If you have any questions, you have Q&A opened up and the Zoom chat. You can go ahead and ask your question, and I'll try my best to answer them. Yes, Amit, surely I will. Thank you so much for your question. Multifunctional expertise basically means within a team having people with multifunctional domain skills. For example, if I have to make a product a success, I have to launch a new feature which I have to which I have to grow to 100 user base, right? It starts growing and gets to around 50-55 user base, and then it stops. So if there's a product manager but there's no growth manager, no one would be able to drive them. Yes, you would be able to drive them over time, but we want fast action. So someone who is in growth would be having the idea where exactly to look into. We need someone from tech, you need someone from marketing, you need someone from finance, you need someone from sales, you need someone from customer support. For example, if you see that all these 55 customers that have onboarded, they are not becoming paying customers, they are not happy paying customers, they are customers who have used it in a freemium mode and they are living. So how do we make that customer buy? Now imagine this, the product manager is tasked to launch new products, right? And during this new product, the issue comes that the old product is not working. Now the person's mind is diverted whether I should innovate or whether I should grow. So you should have aligned responsibilities towards the goal, right? Towards the goal. Imagine this as a relay race where I have relayed it to you and you are working, but I'm also waiting for you to complete this. I'm looking at you. I'm waiting for you to hand me over the baton so that I can run again. So it's a continuous relay that you are doing. It is not that the race will end. So multifunctional expertise basically means having people with different skill sets within the team to run this PLG. Now, within your company, there could be different departments, but for this, you can create a pod, a product pod, which basically would be comprising of all the people that you would need to drive this. So that basically means you have to have multiple people of multiple expertise within the team. Adaptive strategies will actually go very deep into this, Akshara, but definitely it means that your product or your strategy should adapt to the current market needs. For example, today there are a lot of people who would say that I want to create a lot of stuff. I would love an AI to do that. I build a model where it will write you a very good content for people who want to post content, but it is text content. Now people come and say that I don't want to post text content, I want to post video content. I have to change my strategy, I have to move to a different product. For example, users come and say that what, I want to write short content. So can your AI drive like one shot, one liners and stuff like that? Can it give me an entire article of sort? So as the user needs evolve, as they use your product, you have to adapt your strategies accordingly. And that's primarily because you cannot satisfy all the users. You have to satisfy the users that are valuable to you, that those users who are going to drive a lot of business value. Any more questions? All right. If you have any questions, please put them on the Q&A board and we'll take them. Okay. Now these are few, what we covered is what are the basics that you have to form to start PLG. First of all, those four were the basics that you have to keep in mind at an overall level whenever you are executing this. What we are going into now is your role as a product leader in PLG. Now, product-led growth is not really driven by product. Anyone can drive PLG. Whoever has an understanding and expertise around PLG, they can drive. Okay. Lekha, growth teams are a part of marketing teams. Various organizations have various other teams. So Lekha has asked, this growth team, what is a growth team? Is it a marketing team? Sometimes it is a part of marketing, sometimes it is a part of product, but their core responsibility is to grow the product. Basically, I have to grow the user base or the usage of the product. For example, if the growth manager of Swiggy would be tasked to acquire more Swiggy customers or make the existing Swiggy customer buy more. Growth, business growth, numbers growth. We'll get to the metrics as well. All right. So how should you, what is the leader's role in PLG? Now, I start with this sentence because I love this phrase where it says that, innovation distinguishes between a leader and a follower. And it comes at a cost of saying no to 1,000 things. As a product leader, we have to be very aware of where we are going, what we are doing. So as a product leader, what are the core focus areas that you should have to drive this? Now, what are the areas where you may have to say no and say yes? Are these three. There's a strategic angle to it. Around strategy, you have to have a very, I would say, not an opinion, but facts, data-driven facts around why we should do this or we shouldn't. Maybe it is something that is very new and we do not have data, but even then, you should have secondary data to support whatever you are saying. So strategically, whatever aligns with the product strategy and the growth strategy and the product-led growth strategy has to be aligned to overall company goal. That's one. Secondly, your product strength has to align to it. For example, my product doesn't have the capability to run 1 lakh users concurrently, right? I would not say that, let's host IPL, because they will give me crores of users. My product will fail. So there is no point going now. We will go, but we need to be ready for that, right? So when it says saying no, it doesn't really mean that no, we will not do that. No, it's not that. It basically means to do this, we need this. To do this, we need that. Within this domain, we can do these. Would any of them work? That's basically having a shared understanding of things so that everyone can decide on the same thing and align. The second thing is product, and the third is business. We'll talk about each one of them. So within strategy, what are the key focus areas for you? One is the organizational structure, how your organization is structured, how your product org is structured currently, right? Now, how this organization is structured makes a lot of sense because you have to run your PLG pods. So your organizational structure, your PLG structure is a concern of you. If you're not putting the right people at the right place, it is very hard for you to run. For example, I have to transport, my parents from my city to the hometown, but I hire someone who have never driven a car, but they have driven auto. It's very hard. I'm putting the wrong person in the wrong place. So we have to put the right people at the right place. That's first, and structure them in a way that they can work aligned and fast towards the goal. The second thing is around user-centric vision. Now there are a lot of vision statements that you would get. We want to be this, we want to be that, we want to be Netflix of India, we want to be Spotify of Ukraine, so on and so forth. See, user centric, this is not an user centric vision. First of all, I want to become the Zoho for Indonesia is not a user centric vision. There is no user mentioned here. User centric vision would be, I want to empower the people of so and so geography to achieve so and so tasks by my products, which helps them automate or simplify XYZ part of it. As simple as that. For example, Google Maps. We want to help users all over the world to have an understanding of the world around them, and using that information, I want to help them navigate in their day-to-day or leisure travels. Now that's Google Maps. I want to empower whenever people are traveling. We are using Google Maps in every country right now. So user-centric vision is very core to it. Your vision has to be user-centric. There's no other choice. If we are not able to do this, then everything else here doesn't make sense. This is the core of it, strategy. You have to have a very good understanding about your expansion and retention strategy. So once you have the user-centric vision and have the good organization structure, now you have to set where to go. So the core is set. Now I want to intend where I want to go. I want to expand or I want to retain. What do I want? Or if I want both, how do I do it? And whatever you do here, this means you have to put in money. You have to put in money and grow the business, which means that you have to have a very core understanding about these two. The fourth one would be leadership collaboration. As a product leader of PLG, you have to ensure that all the other business leaders are collaborated and aligned. So you may have to work with them to understand what are their concerns, what are your concerns, and have them and hear them out so that you can take their feedback into the overall strategy. Yeah. And all of you have to align on this as well. So part of collaboration would be to understand from them what they want, and another part would be to sell them the user-centric vision. And nothing sells like data. That's the key to it. This. The second part is product. So when you are building the product out, the first one is strategy, basically why and what we want to do. The second part is product, which is what and how about it. So in product, as I said, you have to have a very good team around it, and they have to have a cross-functional collaboration. Cross-functional collaboration means the collaboration between product, tech, design, business, customer service, finance, legal, compliance, risk. You can take names of all the department. These are all functions. We can call it cross-departmental collaboration as well. It's the same thing. But yes, you have to drive them. You have to empower your people, your teammates to do that. You have to guide them, support them in all their journey throughout this so that they are able to collaborate and drive the goals that you have set forth. And you all have agreed that you are going to achieve that goal. Okay. All right. The second core aspect of it is onboarding. Users have to be seamlessly onboarded. And we'll talk more about this in the previous slide, so I'm skipping it. Value prop consistency. It means that your marketing cannot say that, I am selling cheap while your product says we are quality. It doesn't make sense, right? It really doesn't make sense. Have you ever heard Indian Railway saying that you will get business class travel? No, they don't. It is an economy way of traveling. So they keep at it. Yes, within that they have tiers. Within that they have tiers, and within the tiers, as a student, when I used to travel in general compartment. When I started owning company laptop, I used to get a pass because I was careful about it. I don't want to get into the rush because it can damage the device and I have to pay for it. So I upgraded as a user. As simple as that. The value prop was always the same. It is cheaper way of travel. As simple as that. So that's it. Your city metros, your food brands, they cannot change their value prop consistency. Today I cannot say that I'm giving you quality food, and tomorrow the product comes with say that this is a cheap food option. You as a customer would be disgruntled. What is this? I have been told something wrong, right? So value proposition has to be consistent. The product value proposition, what marketing is communicating, what sales are communicating, what your customer service is talking to your customers. Everywhere the value prop has to be consistent. If you say that we want to deliver extremely good customer service, and your customer service guys goes like this. Hello, yes, who is this? I'm having a very low energy. So you cannot do that. Everyone has to agree that we have to do that. Yes, one can not be at their 100%. In that case, they pass on the responsibility to another person. And it's a very professional way of understanding, because I will not be able to deliver, so someone else will on my behalf, and they will deliver good service, because at the end, the customer matters. User centricity has to be with all departments. And fourth would be to set up growth loops. We'll talk more about this. This is a very good aspect of product led growth, where these growth loops are nothing but you keep churning the loop, and it keeps churning more users and more paying users, right? And we'll talk about the loop a bit in our next slides. But basically, this is how you drive growth. And fourth part is business. As I said, with the value prop consistency, so if you are expanding or you are retaining, your value prop has to be consistent, and your marketing has to be precise and in the aligned fashion with the product. For example, tomorrow I am launching a new feature with the product, but today the marketing team sends something on offers. So tomorrow's my launch product will, why, if we are sending one communication to the user, at least keep the communication on for at least 1 week for the users to grab it, because day one you will not reach all the users. So if tomorrow there is a product launch that I have, I will not be okay that any other marketing material goes out today, because tomorrow we are launching, we want to launch the launch. Along with that, we can always say that for the first 100 customer we are giving free upgrades, and that will get you 100 customers very easily, other than saying get free accounts. That doesn't convey the product usage. Fourth is building customer excitement. You have seen all these new companies saying, get to the wait list. iPhone does it, right? Stay in the wait list. Flipkart and Amazon does it, notify me when this is launches, when this phone launch, and all this stuff, because they try to build customer excitement. It gives a very good understanding to you that these are the customers who are excited for the product. Maybe not all of them will buy it, but few of them will. So that excitement has to be there. Business, from a business standpoint, these are two which you have to have a core focus on. As a leader, these are 12 areas where you have to focus on. So, and the last two is data driven decision and adapting to market. So I think we have talked more about this. We will also go into a little deep about what are the data points that you need to look into and how you will adapt your strategy to the market. So out of all the three, the one core concept that you have to remember is what gets measured improves. So if you are driving retention and expansion, if you are driving collaboration, if you are driving value prop consistency or onboarding or alignment, everything you have to measure. You also have to measure the organizational structure, and there is a way to measure them. It's called average revenue per employee. We'll talk about it. So you have to measure everything around it, right? And that will give you an understanding whether your strategy, whether your product and your business are all in the good, healthy state. Okay. Before I move on to the principles, is there anyone who has any questions around it? All right, moving on. Oops, we have one. Examples of growth loop, we'll go there. We are in the very early stage, Jitin. We'll go to the growth loops. All right. I think we are all excited for the next slide to come. So we'll go to the next slide. What are the core principles of product-led growth? We talked about user-centric focus. What do I mean by user-centric focus is this? For example, if you look at examples like Zoom or Figma or Canva, the focus is on two things very early on when you find their product. The first product focus is on for you as a user to try out the product. So they will shoot you a lot of marketing materials that these are the few utilities that you can drive. One of the key reason why people buy product is that it is useful to them. So if they see the value in the product, they will buy your product. Now that is user centric focus. From the day I am launching the product, from the time the user has started interacting with a part of my brand, my user centricity has to be aligned towards them. So if you have come to my website, I want you to try my product. So my website should talk about those. It should not talk about features. No, it should talk about value to you, what you can do. So starting from the website into the product, into the DNA of the company, the user centricity has to be built in. Everyone needs to think user first. User first. We all always say that product first company, but they are all user first company actually. They all think about user. For example, I'm taking an example of Figma. Figma became a like it became viral within designers because designers were creating designs and sharing those designs with another people. They were looking at those designs and then clicking and trying out the product themselves. User centric focus was that designers are a closed community and we want to drive user centric. We want to tap into that community by making user centric focus. One of the key things that designers do are they design and they share their design with other designers to take feedback, and they focused on that and took that to the next step. Second part is data driven decision. Now imagine 100 people have come to your website. 100 people, out of 100 people, 80 people have tried your product, but only 2 people have bought your product. They have paid the subscription fees. Everyone is on the free mode. How do you solve it? You need to look at those data. You need to look at those rest of the 78 people who have not, and have they completed the journey? Have they completed? Have they achieved their goals? Are the users successful in achieving what they wanted to achieve via your product? If we have those data, we can take a decision who are those people whom we can motivate and convert into paying customers. Cross-functional collaboration, I think we have talked enough on this. I'm not going to stress on this more. But we are going to move on to the next 3 principles. Self-onboarding, we have talked about it. That means today, if I have to open a investment account, right? And if I have to open an investment account with a bank, I have to go to the branch and give all my documents and I don't know what, and sign them and stamp them, and then only they will give me then only they are going to give me my account. However, uh, using Zerodha and Grow, I can start investing right now. So why will I even go there? Self onboarding, it sells. The second thing is freemium model, which basically means that you invite the user and you invite them to try out your product. It's like housewarming, you come, you see, if you like, you buy. It's like a form of something called when I don't know, it's a term which is often known as window shopping, right? You have seen this, all the companies that would open their store, they would have a glass wall in front of which you would see. Even the car showrooms, they have all glass wall because they want you to see the product, right? That is it. Seeing is free of cost. We don't charge you for seeing our product, for experiencing our product. So we want you to come and experience a part of it. Why don't you experience a part of it? Maggie did this. Maggie used to go to door and they used to cook Maggie and show people how to cook Maggie and then give them out. Like people who would attend the small event that they have kept. They used to go to this rural market. They have to show them how to cook Maggie. And if you come and see the event, then you will get free Maggie. Your children will get free Maggie. And people went there. People went to see, okay, it's something called free. I will just experience how it is. And then they started adapting. They have all done that. Physical products have all done that. In digital, it's a different story altogether, because physical product can work in linear fashion, digital product cannot, which is why we need core functionality. But yes, premium model is a core. And third one, this is very important. Outcome pricing. What is outcome pricing? Outcome pricing is, for example, I am paying $100 for a product. but I am not getting fulfilled completely. So what is that I am lacking, which this new product feature can solve? And if that can solve, whether I as a customer will be willing to pay for it. That is outcome based pricing. For example, you have seen this in a lot of product where they would say that, you know what, in AI product this is being used very usefully. So you can upload your photo, you can upload your video, and they will crunch it with AI, put subtitles, give a very good background and everything. But you will be able to download them as well. But now if you want to enhance it further, as someone who has experienced the power of the AI within this platform, you want to explore the further capabilities of it, you have to price it. Beautiful AI was launched where it was free. And then they said that if you want to launch more, I'll give you credits and you have to buy credits. So it is driving an outcome. The outcome is that I am getting beautiful PPTs. Uh, for example, Zoho is a very good example here. Zoho has tiers, right? So the first tier customers are free users. Now, if you want to expand, if you want to increase your team beyond 100, you want to put more admin onto your platform. Previously, there were 2, now you have 10. You want to automate your business. That is an outcome you are driving. Your outcome is to drive productivity. And that for that productivity, you are willing to pay the price. That is what outcome based pricing is. Basically, I am driving a customer outcome, and to drive that customer outcome, I'm pricing you. So it's as simple as when you are traveling and you ask that whether you want to, you ask a cabbie or an auto or a bike wala that, okay, I want to grow from here to here. What is the price? And the person says, it is this much. And you say, yes, it's an outcome. That outcome is that you will reach there within this much time, within this much cost. So that outcome is being driven by your pricing. The pricing has to be attached to your outcome. It cannot be that you buy pro membership for $100. No, you have to mention what do you get out of it. So you see this, all these OTT platforms, they mention pricing bands of pricing and the features within them. So basically, when you see the features, you see that these are the few things that you will be able to do. For example, Netflix says that you'll be able to share it in 6 screens if you pay me the highest tier package. And yes, people want to share. That's an outcome I'm driving and I'm paying for that. So pricing has to be attached to all the outcomes. And then we have viral loops, we have user-centric metrics, and we have user education, which means you have to educate your user a lot around how to use the product. At times you have to educate on what are the benefits their peers are driving. One key area which on user education, what a lot of wealth company does is it ranks your wealth portfolio with the peer, like within your age band, their portfolio, and says, hey, here you are, IND money and deserve, they're all doing this. Will give you ticker tape, they're all doing that. This is where your portfolio stands. So you educate the user what they can do, and that motivates them. So you start with the user in the strategy set, you start with the user centric focus, and you end with the user centric metrics, so that you are all trying to tap into all the aspect. Someone said that freemium model and outcome pricing appear to be serving the same purpose, price for the value of the customer. So the difference, freemium and outcome pricing are same, but they are different part of the same problem. So freemium means you have to understand how much of the product you want to expose free of cost, because that is a cost to you. That is your cost of acquiring the customer, right? So you have to be very careful about how much you are giving out of free, and the rest part is premium. But within premium, outcome pricing takes precedence. So within premium, how will you price? How will you segment? That is where you have to understand what are the user outcomes and then segment. We cannot segment out of our own self that, okay, I think I should segment like this. No, you have to understand what the user wants, what are the different parts of users, and then I'll give you an example. Very easily, think about a B2B SaaS product where I am building the product, and that product is used by startups having less than 10 employees and mid-sized company more than 1,000 employees. both these users will have very different outcomes to drive and very different use cases, and I have to price it that way. So I have to first look at the user, segment the user, and then based on the segment and the outcome with that segment, we'll price them. Is it clear, Ankur? Awesome. Jitin says that you can do outcome pricing without using freemium. Yes, you can, but as a PLG product, if you are not invited, if you are in a B2C space or a B2B space, and you start at a price band very early, yes, if it is a brand who is launching something, yes, maybe you can work around with that. But if it is a non-brand, it's a new company, it's very hard to do that. Even a new product from a new company at times doesn't do, a new product from an existing brand doesn't do that well. If it is not free of cost. For example, I'll give you a very good example here. For example, I am asking you to buy a very new sort of fabric for your apparels, for your anything that you are wearing, a very new fabric, but I do not allow you to touch the fabric or see the fabric without you paying $10. You are not going to even going to touch that fabric. Like, oh no, this is working for me, I'll go there. That is where freemium works. Does one communicate clearly with the user that pricing is another outcome, or does education outcome? You do not have to tell the user that I am doing this. You just have to tell them that if you buy this, you will be able to do this. For example, if you see any OTT platform like Netflix, it says that 199 you will get to see it in mobile, 399 get to see in on your laptop or a TV, but one screen. Then it upgrades, like Super HD mode, you have to pay 89 or something like that. So they are not, Netflix doesn't say that, I am driving in your outcome. No, it just says that you will be able to do this. As simple as that. Like if I tell you that if you do this, you will get this. Very simply. I think people are asking about an example of viral loop. So let me give you an example of viral loop. All of us have seen a lot of rewards that were shared by Google Pay, Phone Pay once upon a time, right? That was incentivized viral loops. There are non-incentivized viral loops as well. So viral loops are two different things. Incentivized, where the user gets something, and non-incentivized, where the user is not incentivized, but organically they are incentivized. I'll give you the example. So the first example, which is incentivized viral loops, is if I share with you, you and I both get $100 for free, right? And I keep using it, I keep sharing, I keep earning money. People I share with, they also share with other people, and they also start earning money. So that creates a virality in the product. Virality simply means going viral, right? It just expands because everyone started sharing. Google Pay suddenly started achieving a lot of growth. That is one where we have incentivized the user to share, and that has created a loop. The other, which is very much well built into the product organically, that basically means think about Dropbox. Now Dropbox is nothing but Google Pay, Google Drive, sorry. It is Google Drive. Dropbox is nothing but Google Drive. But unlike Google Drive, in Dropbox, if I share the Dropbox link with you and if you onboard, I get some extra space. So instead of 100 GB, maybe I'll get 120 GB, 110 GB more. For those 10 GB or 20 GB, I'm going to share. And if I share with you, you are also going to share. So I'm incentivizing the user to use the product. I'm not giving you rewards instead of it. I'm building it within that. The other viral loop is example is Figma or Canva. So I designed something on Figma and Canva, and I share the design with you, and you say that, hey, this is really nice, let me check this out, let me use this. Another example is Calendly. You have all seen Calendly being used by so many sales folks these days. Previously, no one was using. They were all using mails, and they were using a copy where they used to keep where all I have to meet. Now they have all started using Calendly. Why? Because when salespeople were meeting, Calendly was targeting salespeople. So I, as a salespeople, I send my Calendly link to someone who is a salesperson in another company. That person sees that, adopts that, right? So viral loops are nothing but a way for your users to share their experience with other potential users, and they are also incentivized to do the same. As simple as that. Okay, I'm moving on to the next slide because we have to cover something around this. And before I move to the frameworks, because we are going to enter the science behind it. Any more questions on this, on principles or on product leadership, anything around it, please go ahead and ask your questions. I will give you around 5 minutes, 12:15. We will start again. Sorry, 12:15 still will run. Around 12:18 will start again. Any more questions? All right, moving on. I think another example of non-incentivized viral loops. Poonam, we'll cover that. We'll cover that. In the next phases, we'll cover that. We'll give you more examples around it. But yes, a viral loop example is simply you can take Calendly as an example, you can take Figma as an example, you can take a lot of different examples where the user is not incentivized at all, and you are simply sharing that. For example, YouTube, right? Think about YouTube. No one, if in a country there is no YouTube users, and you share that, what, see this video, that person sees more videos, starts sharing it within their community, and it expands. Facebook did that. Initially, Facebook did that. People wanted their friends to be on the same platform. So, please join Facebook, please join Facebook, please join Facebook. All right, moving on. The science behind product-led growth. This is the first principle around it. Now, this is a behavioral model which is studied across multiple sets of industry, user cohorts, geography. This graph has three components. The first component, the x-axis, is the ability of the user to do it, whether it is hard for the user or is it easy for the user. If it is easy, the users have a more potential. Like if it is easy for the user will probably do it. If it is hard, the user will get stuck in that case. The y-axis is motivation. Motivation means either I'm motivated to do this or I'm not motivated to do this. So either my motivation is high or my motivation is low. So imagine this: if it is hard to do and your motivation is low, right? That is where your product will fail. And the third aspect is the action line. Now, action line is nothing but a line drawn around the ability and the motivation that determines when the user has the highest probability to act on their motivation. For example, I want to purchase a new book, right? I am motivated to learn, but for me to buy a book, I have to walk around 2 kilometers to find the nearest bookstore, or I can go to Amazon and order, right? Ability to do that. So ability for me to walk 2 kilometers, no, I'll order it on Amazon. Another example here would be in a SaaS platform, I want to add my team members onto my overall SaaS platform, and I have to add them one by one. So while I am highly motivated, you are making it extremely hard for me to do, right? So where do I fall? I fall somewhere in this, on the left hand on the left hand side, on the top corner. So my motivation is high, but my ability is low. So if you give me something a little easy, like you give me an option where I share the link with everyone onboards themselves, nothing like it. But maybe you cannot do that, so you give me something which is called bulk upload, right? So I prepare an Excel and I upload, I will be able to do that. So a little ability will motivate me, will trigger my motivation into action. The other part, where it is extremely easy to do, you really don't need to motivate the users. You just need to make your product available to them, and you need to prompt them. The third aspect here, apart from motivation and ability, is prompts. Prompts are nothing but targeted marketing to your core users so that they can take an action. And here something is B stands for behavior, which means Motivation multiplied by action and prompt. When all three are on positive, you have a better behavior outcome. Now, if you divide this into a 4x4 quadrant, you can see on the top right corner, it is the best. User has the high motivation and it is easy to do. If your product falls in this domain for that particular user, your product will scale. You just need to make more people motivated to do that. That is why we keep saying seamless onboarding, because it is easy. We want to make it easy for the user. Now, this entire chart can be simplified into 4 learnings, particularly for Indian context. 1, simplicity changes behavior. India is a very large country with multiple different diverse people. Simplicity. It should be easy for everyone. If it is simple, the behavior changes. For example, scooty. No one was driving motorcycle before two-wheelers. There were not many two-wheeler driver before scooty. Scooty was easy to drive. Everyone started owning scooty. Now you see so many scooties, right? Second, timing of the prompt matters. Okay, you want me to use your app to let's say buy a product, right? And I send you a notification 5 a.m. in the morning or maybe 4 a.m. at night. Doesn't make sense. Or I'm mailing you when you are drained out from work, you are traveling back, and I'm prompting you. No, I should not do that. Or whenever you are celebrating festivals, Diwali or any other festival within your company, any festival that you are celebrating or any time that you are spending with family, and I'm sending you prompt, you know what, invest. You're not going to do that. Timing of the prompt matters. Simplicity changes behavior, but timing of the prompt matters. Prompt it at the wrong time and you lose the customer forever. 3, starting small helps. Basically, here's an example. If I come to you and I tell you, and imagine this, I think the example here is that imagine the first time you were started working and you had to open an account. Now, here, if I come to you as a salesperson, I say that you open an account, also book an FD, and then you will get a credit card. I'm trying to sell you 3 products, but I'm unable to do that. However, if I just sell you the account, which is your need because you have to get the salary, you will buy it. So starting small helps acquire the user. It boosts also motivation. And 4th is referral changes behavior. Imagine this. I'm going to explain 4 of them in one example. The first time that the salesperson had come, has told you that, buy all these 3 products. Let's say it didn't happen that way. Let's say you started working and someone from your family said, you know what, this is a good bank. These people are also good. This branch is also good. Please go ahead and open your bank account. They will help you. They have helped me a lot. You have a higher motivation. So your motivation increased. Now you know that it could be a hard thing to do because you are doing it for the first time. So you still go and the salesperson makes it easy for you, right? I simplify it for you. I make it small. I say that, you know what, you open a bank account right now. I will open the bank account. I will give you everything today. You wait for 5 minutes and everything will be ready with you. And I give you everything within 5 minutes. And I say that there are other 2 products as well. However, you start experiencing my product and then we'll talk. But please do come to our branch whenever you have any financial need. Now 6 months have passed. I, as a salesperson, call you, or the product prompts you saying that, hey, if you you have, let's say, 5 lakh rupees in your account, book an FD and you get a credit card of 4 lakh rupees credit. Now you have a higher probability to get those 2 products as well, because you have spent 6 months, you have additional balance to put into the FD. Had I sold you the FD and credit card first, you would have not. So if someone has referred, if the timing is right, if you are able to start small and it's simpler to do, there's a higher behavior. The behavior will be in favor of your product. This is the first framework. The second framework, and this is the most famous framework, everywhere you will see it, it is the growth loop and the hook framework. So the growth loop is nothing but the growth loop basically keeps on acquiring new users, and the hook loop gets the new user and hooks them to the product, right? So the growth loop, basically any action that the user desires, they see that the outcome is happening, because of that outcome that you would get, you engage with the product, you decide to try the product. Once you try the product, you achieve that what you are trying to do, and then you get hooked, because once you achieve, you get a reward. Once you get a reward, you invest more time in it, and you keep using it. That is how Zoho, Zoom, Figma, Canva, Notion, Typeform, everything has taken place. Each of these, once you use, the experience is so good, and you tend to use it again and again and again, and then you start triggering links to other people. Every time I send you a Typeform link, it says that powered by Typeform, so you are aware the brand is hitting you again and again and again. So someone mentions Typeform and you're like, yeah, I've used it, I've seen that it's a really good product. You have already started interacting with the brand. The first time you interact with the brand, that is the entry point to that entry point of the user to that particular product. So the user has interacted with your business the first time they have touched your brand. So you increase the number of touch points within the ecosystem via all these loops. The growth loop and the hook model basically is to get new users and acquire and keep the customers acquired. I'll give an example of Uber to explain this. So Uber, what do Uber want? Uber is a platform. So a platform has two sides, the buyer side and the seller side. Here the seller side are the drivers, the buyer side are people like you and me. So if I have a lot of demand, lot of people, but less number of people who are driving, then I cannot balance it out. If I have more number of drivers and less number of users, the price war will start, and it will help help me, because now yes, I have a lot of users, but I have less number of users, so a lot of drivers will be unsatisfied and they will leave. What is a healthy balance? When you grow both of them together as a platform, you have to ensure that demand side and supply side evolves together. So what did they do? The core proposition of value of Uber is that I will give you faster pickups at a lower price. How do I do that? To have a faster pickup at a lower price, I have to increase the demand so that supply also increases, right? So how do I do that? How do I get to a point where I say that, if I have more cabs, then I'll ensure you faster pickup. If I do not have, I'll have less cabs. So the journey has to complete and then they have to start. So it's not a faster pickup. And the pricing will also be not be less because demand is high and supply is low. So I have to balance it out. So how do they do that? Number one, they said that, what, we'll give you faster pickups. They started small within few cities, so within those cities they were able to adapt. When they saw that within the city the people adapting, as the people adapted, as they saw that there is more business to be done, the drivers also saw that there is money to be made and they started joining the platform. So users increased the demand because of lower price and faster pickups, and then the drivers joined. Once they joined, that basically meant that I'm now covering more geographical area. For example, they were in the city, break it into north and south. I say that, when east and west, I would say that I would have equal number of cabbies delivering to all these four sectors. So I have increased geographical coverage. Previously, it was on the maybe on the business hub side. Now it is also on the residential hub, in the students hub, and so on and so it is increasing. So as the geographical coverage increase, that means you have more drivers and you have more, they are covering more and more geography. That means you are ensuring faster pickup at a lower price for more geography. That is again increasing the demand, and the viral loop is setting up. And that is how your users and your suppliers both are getting hooked to this model. And the growth is, so in this cycle, where is the growth phase? The growth phase is increased demand and more driver. What is the value? Faster pickup and geographical coverage. So the bottom two are the values and the other two are the growth drivers within this, where the demand and the platform are increasing. This is the core to this. Your product has to build this model to drive PLG. For example, if I'm building a SaaS, I have to make sure that it brings more customers to me, so that they are using it and they are sharing it with their partners and they are also using. I grab one startup, they share it with their suppliers, they start using Zoho, they onboard their vendor in Zoho, where they pay. Whenever they are paying, they are seeing Zoho, they try out Zoho, and then Zoho gets into the company's vendors as well, to their buyers as well, and so on and so forth. Correct. So before and after this, we do have a small case study so that we are our all the concepts can be cleared out. Right. Till now, any questions? All right. Moving on, folks. Harleen, can you please enable everyone to switch on their mic and speak? Because I would want every one of you to talk through this. This is a case study which basically says that you are a product manager or a product leader for a banking application. It can be a neo bank as well, right? New age banking application, a mobile banking application, and you have to onboard users fast, right? Uh, if you think you would like to answer, please raise your hands and we will unmute you so that you can answer. Jitin, yes, please go ahead. Please enable Jitin so that Jitin can speak. Amit also, yes. Jitin and Amit has raised their hands.
Hi, can you hear me?
Yes, Jitin.
Perfect. Yeah, I would choose a mobile number and OTP because the
Okay.
idea is in terms of my target segment, which is people who may or may not be working, right? So like LinkedIn and work email, personal email, like a lot of people don't have emails.
Mhm.
Slack though would be an even smaller, percentage of people. So in terms of the market segment that I'm looking at, the widest penetration is given to me by mobile number and OTP, and it's also the most like the easiest one to do it with.
All right. Anyone else, Amit? Thank you so much, Jitin, for the answer.
Yeah, I was also initially quite tilted towards mobile number and OTP, but then just the issue of sometimes network and not getting the OTP in good time popped to my head, and that's where I thought maybe personal email, where most of the times most of our users have the Gmail or something configured on this thing, so we give them the option to log in through Gmail
Okay.
or a personal email.
Awesome. Awesome. There are no right or wrong answers. I have chosen the right answer based on what the actual company has done. But yes, very good point raised. I would love to discuss more on this actually. This is a very, very, very good point raised, and we keep having this debate whether Gmail or mobile number. But yes, in the meantime, Suresh has raised the answer. So please, Suresh, go ahead and speak. You can unmute yourself and speak. Yes, Suresh. You are not audible. Ankur has also raised the hand. Yes. Yes, Suresh, I can hear you. Hello. Suresh, are you saying something? Hello.
Suresh, we're unable to hear you. Oh, okay, maybe his mic's not working.
Okay. Ankur, you can go ahead in the meantime. We'll get back to Suresh.
Yeah, I think mobile number and OTP from a usability perspective is the fastest, easiest, and the least with hassles. Assuming the person is signing off on the mobile, so signing on the mobile phone, no, there is no switching of screens or switching of devices required. So that would be the go-to choice for me.
Okay. Thank you so much. Suresh, you want to answer? If you want to, you can type in as well. I'm sorry. You're speaking, yes. Jitin, very good question. I love that. But yes, I think Suresh is having some issue. So I think all of you chose it, most of you chose it, right? Where I would say that yes, mobile number OTP is the right way to go about it. I'll tell you why. There are two aspects to this. As a banking customer, there are some compliance rule which says that you have to know your customer, and mobile number is one of the easiest way to know your customer, because you get the mobile number, you validate them, you also with the mobile number, if there are any further UPI IDs that the customer has, you can pull them all together, you can mix them. The first onboarding, when I get the customer and I say that, you know what, these are the few UPI IDs that you have, would you like to tag any of these UPI ID to my bank account? What I'm trying to do is I want to make the user use my bank account, use them for transactions, use them for payments, for wealth. And mobile number OTP actually gives me a power to get the UPI ID, because everyone has UPI ID these days, and I want to tap into that. Today I'm launching this and I want the mobile number and OTP to get. Secondly, as every one of you said, it's the easiest to go ahead with. I would also say that we can also ask them to add their Gmail account number, because For written communication, no one reads SMS, so I have to. So personal email and mobile OTP both are correct answers, but I would still go ahead with mobile OTP for the first launch because I am targeting those customers. I want to target the customer. I want to target very high flying customers who will use my product for transaction and everything, because I want them to talk about it. I want them to grow this. I want them to create a viral loop around this. Very well said. We'll move on to the next one. Now, this is where you have to get the user to the first aha moment. The first aha moment is nothing but the moment where the user achieves something and feels, wow, nice, I have done this. For example, Zoom, setting up a meeting and getting you onboarded and talking. This is the aha moment for me, where I have got all of you together. And that is what I want to drive. Now, for the first aha moment, I would say, you have to drive the first aha moment. Now you are a product leader of Canva, a design application. You tell me which of the 5 options that you see here would be the aha moment for the customer. Would it be yes, Jitin?
Yeah, my choice is the first 5 designs published.
Okay.
In fact, even first design published by the customer.
Okay, nice. Anyone else? Yes, Ankur.
First and last. So the day the first design gets published, and also if I find it, I mean, if I can add more my teammates to it, then that would
Yeah,
be a house.
yeah. So you are saying that adding publishing design and adding teammate would be very nice.
Correct.
Yes.
Yes.
Anyone else? Amit, Suresh, anyone else apart from these folks who would want to answer? Yes, first 5 published is the aha moment for the customer, and adding teammates would be, yeah, I think, Amit, you took a more B2B version of it, which is very nice. While Jitin took a more B2C version of it. But yes, both the strategies are correct. However, I answered it only for the B2C part. But yes, adding teammates would also be another achievement. You would definitely want to tag it as the aha moment for B2B customer, because yes, you would want the teammates to be added. Okay, moving on. Thank you so much for participating in that little bit of micro case study. This gave me an understanding that we all have gone through the details of product and we have understood, what is exactly product led growth. Before I delve into the metrics, here is one area of story that I want to share. There was a time when UPI was growing really fast, and I was the core team member of UPI. We were driving. We didn't know what metrics to measure, and in product-led growth, it is often the case that you do not know which metrics to measure. So, what I have done here is I have broken the metric into its constituent parts. We talked about strategic, product, and business. We have broken it simply in that fashion. So the first one that is important for you as a metric is the experience metric, which is the strategy aspect, user centricity. It has to be experience. I am going to measure the experience by which I'll ensure there is user centricity and my strategy is aligned to my overall business goal. The second is engagement. This is where the product is. So if your product is engaging with the people, and the people are engaging with the product, nothing like it is, your product is already successful, so you have to drive the engagement. If your product is good, you will keep looking at it. For example, Facebook became a rage back in 2008 when it got public all across the world. By 2010 it was doing fantastic. People were engaging on it on a daily basis because it was fresh, it was relatable, and it had something which the other product never had. Experience. They were engaging for the experience, and these two, engagement and experience, will run your overall business. Now we are going to look at few of the metrics. So within experience, there is activation metrics, which are basically product qualified leads. Product qualified leads are those users who have had their aha moment, right? For example, the Canva design user who have created one design, of a Zoom who has set one meeting, so on and so forth. The second is time to value. Time to value is nothing but the time from which the customer has interacted for the first time with your product till the customer has had the aha moment. For example, joining a Zoom meeting via a chat, a Zoom link to the point where you have successfully created your account and hosted a session is the aha moment and how much time the user have taken. If it is long, that means the motivation is low. The second aspect of it is sentiments. Within sentiments, there are 3 ways to measure sentiment: NPS, CSAT, and CES. CES is customer effort score, effort to solve a problem. CSAT is the experience around it. Net promoter score means how many they will refer. We'll get to all these metrics in a while. Just let's look at the overall viewpoint. The second is engagement. So once you have activated and you have measured how the users are feeling, the second is that if they're feeling good, they should adapt my product, as simple as that. So you're also going to track adoption. Around adoption, there are 2 things. One, free trial conversion, and second, feature adoption. So if 100 people have converted, how many features they are using? So that gives you an overall view which feature is driving more users, and you should invest there. Right? Data-driven decisions. Second is adoption. Third is adoption. Around engagement, first is adoption, and the second one is virality. Virality, nothing means how many users are talking about your product. As simple as that. There was a time, if you go anywhere, people would talk about QR codes back in those days when we were having COVID. So this is exactly why it is important, because your product is basically growing the product, right? Product is growing the business. That means users are your brand ambassador. Virality means nothing but making your users your brand ambassador. And then business metrics. Business metrics are simply growth metrics, which is expansion MRR, CLTV, ARPU. There are retention metrics. Basically, you have to retain the customers, which is net revenue retention and revenue churn. And the last part is the metrics that you track around efficiency, means which is productivity metric. These are largely measuring the average revenue per employee and the cost of acquiring the customer. You call it CAC, right? CAC and CLTV are pretty much well known. We are going to talk about these metrics, which are very core to product-led growth. And as a business, as a product leader, you have to know them very well. You have to use them on a day-to-day, on a monthly basis for all your leadership chats, all your discussions with your team. Okay. So what are the experience metrics? PQL. PQL are basically activated customers, users with freemium accounts who have had their aha moment, right? For example, Zoom, who have created a Zoom account and hosts a webinar, is an aha moment for me. Okay. What is the goal? To increase PQL conversion. How many people are converted? The goal is that all the PQLs has to translate into converted. So we check what are the PQLs converted in last 60, 30, 90 days. How many have dropped out, so on and so forth. But this is a metric which can drill down into further metric, where you break down into user cohort segments, analyze per segments, analyze per user action, analyze per feature. So you can drive PQLs based on the segmenting it based on the user or the product. But yes, PQL you have to measure. The second is time to value. As we said, time to value is the time taken by the user to experience the aha moment, right? The users can now join Zoom as guest and attend my webinar. Okay, so basically I have reduced the aha moment. I'm not asking them to create any account, just join as guest. So as a guest, I'm giving you an aha moment right then and there. That reduces my time to value. And the TTV has to be measured on a timely basis, like is it 30, 60, 90? We also use PQLs versus TTV chart. Like, for example, within people who have taken longest time to reach an aha moment, what is the probability of those users to get converted vis-a-vis those who have achieved higher? So depends on the product. Some products you would see this kind of graph, some products you will see this kind of graph, some products you will see this kind of graph. It depends how complex is the product and how complex is the problem of the user, and this will vary. It also depends on the maturity of the user base. Initially, when you are growing, the graph may look like this. When you are at the middle stage, the graph will look like this, and then you have like this, because the features will expand. Earlier it was simple, so TTV was less. Now there are more products, no more features, so TTV is increasing day by day, but also it is increasing conversion. So it is not a hard and fast to say that TTV has to be less, but it has to be optimum enough for the users to convert. That is the goal. The goal here is to convert the users, and you have to reduce the TTV over time. It is not that tomorrow you have to reduce. Third and experience matrix is around net promoter score, right? This is the sentiment matrix. This basically, how do you measure this? You have seen all these advertisement which says that will you recommend our product to XYZ people, where you have to rate out of 10. So people above rating above 9 and 10 are promoters, below 6 are defectors. You deduct the percentage and you get the NPS score. Metrics of engagement. Now, this metrics of engagement, the first is feature adoption rate. This determines basically the top features have to be measured for new features. This basically talks about number of people who are using the feature divided by total number of people in the product. So basically, users for the feature divided by total users in the product, and gives an estimated volume idea about how good this product is. Is it driving most part of the experience, and then you can attack. Virality coefficient. We talked about virality, but how do we measure virality? We measure virality by this. So we measure virality in a time period basis, from time A to time B. For example, today I start measuring. I say that today I have 100 users. At the end of the period, maybe after a quarter, after 90 days, what is the total number of users? If I divide by that, I get a K, which is called virality coefficient. Now, this coefficient is basically the average number of new users that an existing user can bring. And that's how I can estimate how many people I can target by end of the period. So what I want to do, I want to, let's say from 100, I want to go to 1000. Okay. So the virality coefficient is 10. That means that, and on an average, one user should be able to convert 10 new users, which is really, really high. So let's reduce it, right? We should not take goals which are exorbitantly high, because that is not how organic marketing works, right? So to measure K, we estimate like this. Okay, number of invitations sent by each customer. It can be less than one also, but overall the K has to be greater than one, and the percentage conversion rate of each invite, right? So for example, I say that, okay, I see that on an average, one user sends 2 invitations and the conversion rate is 30%. So I can overall guess, if I have 100 users, what will be the end result of number of people I'll get at the end of it. So basically that's 200 into 30%, which is around 60. And I would say that, okay, so I will end up somewhere being 260, 280 by end of 1 month. And that is, this rate will continue. We keep on measuring virality coefficient via this, and this virality coefficient is actually impacting the network effect, basically where everyone starts talking about your product. So with the engagement sorted and the experience sorted, we go to the business metrics. And this is the lagging metrics. These are important for all your leadership discussion. One is expansion MRR. This expansion MRR is basically monthly recurring revenue from existing customer via cross-sell, upsell, add-ons, VAS, whatever. Ideally, the goal has to be that expansion MRR should be more than 30%. Monthly recurring revenue from existing customer should be around 30% to have a good start rate for your product-led growth. It improves the return on ad spend. It reduces CAC. As simple as that. This is very important for all your business discussions. The second is ARPU, average revenue per users, which basically we divide MRR by total number of product users. Now, why this is important? Say your MRR has increased from 1000 to 2000, but your user base has increased from 100 to 300. That means your ARPU has actually dropped, right? So that means all the new users that you have acquired are not generating as good as the older users. Whether your strategy is working or not, this will tell you, and then you have to adapt your strategy. Maybe I'm not attracting the right kind of customers. Then we have something called net revenue retention. Net revenue retention is nothing but the monthly recurring revenue from new customers and old customers minus the revenue lost due to downgrades and due to churn, people who have left the platform, divided by total monthly recurring revenue. This is a percentage which tells you what is the net recurring retention, what I've gained, what I've lost, what is the net. And fourth is net revenue churn. This has to be as low as possible. So revenue lost minus new and expansion revenue, right? And revenue at the beginning. Basically, how much you have lost. This is very important to understand which are the customers you have lost, how much you have lost, we can also do it at a user level. We can do it at a revenue level as well. We can do it at a user level as well. So to calculate net user churn, when you divide net revenue churn by net user churn, you get how much ARPU you have lost. And that is why this is very important, so that you are able to have the discussion. Maybe the ARPU has not dropped. Actually, you have maybe the net revenue churn is good. The ARPU, lower ARPU customers have left. So you are left with very good set of customers. Not always this is a bad index. It has to be operated differently, right? So these are all the metrics, business metrics. These four are undoable with. You have to have them at the back of your mind. You have to talk about them on all your business discussion, which gives an overall understanding as to how to drive this. These metrics will enable you to have conversation with leadership, with your team. You can assign all the metrics to yourself within your team, within your team members, and you can break them down as well. I do talk about a detailed metric session, and we do a detailed metric session of 2 hours as well in my full-time course for PLG. That is a 10-session course, but since this is just a one session, I have put only the ones which you cannot do away with. All right. So this is where we are done with the metrics of product-led growth. Now I have another case study for you, and this is where you become the product leader of a. Had a question on virality metrics slide. Amit, yes, please go ahead and speak.
Yeah, can you just show that slide again? So,
Yes.
yeah, here I didn't understand what helps upgrade slow movers. Under feature adoption rate.
Okay.
That's second bullet point, right?
Helps upgrade slow movers. Okay. So, for example, you have 100 people in your product, right? 20% of them are fast movers. Means whenever you launch new feature, they adapt it. But 80%, 80 people are not adapting new features that you're launching. How they are slow movers, but that means they are not adapting new features that you're launching. How do you get them? So if you know what is the feature adoption rate, and then you break down the feature adoption rate by user segment, by user cohort, and you go into a phase where you're able to understand how much people are upgrading, who are not upgrading, then you can upgrade them. You can help them upgrade. You can help them upgrade by saying that, these many users are doing it. If you are identifying them that, these are the users who are not adopting the feature, then you can upgrade them. So this feature adoption rate basically talks about if your feature is easy or bad, easy or tough, and how it is easy for whom, it is tough for whom, and if it is tough for the users, they are slow movers, and then you can upgrade them to this feature. So this feature adoption rate actually breaks down into further metrics. That is where we help them. But we are not going into that level right now. But yes, this helps actually. This helps you upgrade all the users into adopting the feature.
Sure, got it. Thanks.
Okay. All right. We have the last case study, and then we are going into the quiz mode. So now all of you are product leader for Google Drive, right? Which of the following option will actually increase your product qualified lead? Promotional offers on paid subscription. Basically, I'm giving you discounts. Incentivizing user to promote paid subscription. If you promote my paid subscription, I'll give you something else. Increasing referrals via adding 5 GB extra, adding AI to organize Google Drive, or drop the pricing below competition. So which of the following will increase PLG? You have to choose the one that is a PLG strategy. Which one would you choose and why? Yes. Anyone interested? Yes, Swapnil.
Hello, hi. Are you able to hear me?
Yes, I am.
Yeah. So basically, I'll go with intensive referral by adding 5 GB extra space because this strategy is already used by Dropbox and it's already working for them. So it is already, I would say, tested approach. So for the initial phase, I'll go with this.
Okay. All right. All right. No problem. Yes, Jitin, you were going to say something. Was it the same answer?
Uh, yeah, but actually, having heard that, I'm slightly more confused because I mean, it depends, right? It's all contextual. So, so let's say, somebody else like Google Drive is offering like 15, 20, whatever, a certain number of GBs, which where extra space is not so valuable anymore,
Hmm.
right? I think in that case, the answer will probably change, right? So I was thinking about it in a few different steps, right? So let's say what is to be the aha moment for something like a drive to begin with, right?
Hmm.
Is it just storing something there? Uh, Probably, right? So like that's where I start deriving value out of it, right? There I start
Yes.
storing something there. And what will make me do that more, right?
Hmm.
Is it the ability to organize it and like get it back whenever I want?
Yes.
So
Hmm.
so the AI bit
Good
is,
questions. AI bit seems very nice, right? Yes.
I mean,
It
it
does.
depends
It
on
does.
what the definition of organize is, but
Hmm.
assuming that organize is of immense value to me in terms of
Hmm.
getting the data. So let's say I have like some 10,000 photos from my phone getting stored on Google Drive, right?
Yes.
I think getting that back, getting the right one back, becomes of immense value to me.
Challenge.
Yeah.
Interesting point raised, actually. Very nice. Uh, there's no right answer for this. I've just kept a right answer for my sake. Ankur, yes, Ankur, please go ahead.
Yeah, see, I think so multiple things I want to share. One is the last option, dropping the price point. That is basically an outlier in the options because we're not talking about um,
Yes.
the competition at all. We are saying, okay,
Hmm.
how do we add more value to a customer?
Yes.
So is it by giving them more value per dollar, or is it giving
Hmm.
them a lower dollar value itself? So
Hmm.
very subjective on what the customer sees as value. But
Correct.
what I wanted to point out was that the last option is more of an outlier.
The last option is an outlier, correct. So yes, I think it can be anything of this. It can be any of this option, depending on what you are trying to target, depending on whom you are trying to target. It can be promotional and paid subscription as well. Why not? I would say that if you subscribe today, you are going to get this much free, and but these are pro subscription which I will give you for 50% less. Black Friday sale में हमेशा होता है. So I mean that is a way of increasing PLQ. The fact is that what is a product led growth strategy? A PLG strategy is something that you will never have to touch again. Once you run it, it keeps churning users, right? You do not have to roll it back. So think about the one that you do not want to roll it back. 5 GB extra space looks very as the right option because it's a successful strategy. Yes, you can start with that, but that is not the PLG strategy you should use. And why don't you leverage AI to organize your Google Drive? You can say that I'll give you 10 pictures, you give me the best picture out and delete everything else. As simple as that. Organize them, make a good album of it, as simple as that, and it makes an album. Make a video out of it and share it with me, and it shares. As simple as that. So it can be anything, anything. But yes, uh, adding 5 GB extra definitely adds a lot of user, and Dropbox is actually successful. You can go ahead with that. That's a successful strategy that you can copy. But whether you want to copy as a product leader of Google Drive or not is something that you have to decide. But yes, all the answers here would be correctly placed, right? Now, before we head over to everything else, this is the summary of it. What is product-led growth? Onboard seamlessly. Okay? Seamlessly for new users, for new features, for rising product awareness, everything you onboard seamlessly. Easy, easy, easy. Okay. Second is help them get to the aha moment. Because if they get to the aha moment, they'll talk about you. And the aha moment can be reached either by self-service or by assisted service, where the customer service helps you resolve the issue and helps you reach the goal. That also creates an aha moment. But you have to help the user get to the aha moment. And the third is drive adoption. You have to make your users your brand ambassador, and they will speak on behalf of you. and they will speak and speak and speak, and they will expand your overall portfolio. So basically, price it to user outcome so that they themselves onboard and upgrade and experience. Incentivize referral. You can incentivize in different ways. Incentivize in via money, via products, via everywhere, but incentivize referral, right? For example, please share a story on LinkedIn, and we will feature the top 3 stories on our website, incentivized without and free of cost, right? And embedded growth loops. Embedded growth loops are nothing but simply where you keep on churning. As someone mentioned about Canva, I would say that adding is the aha moment. Yes, you are embedding growth loop into the aha moment, and that's a way of doing it. There's no hard and fast answer whether voice should do it or not. In Indian context, monetary benefits drives it a lot, but these days Gen Z are not driven by monetary benefits, so you have to segment the users. Users who are very digitally savvy, they are incentivized in many different ways, so apart from money as well. These are few examples of PLG studies, organic word of mouth, or that is Spotify and TikTok. Incentivized word of mouth, that is Dropbox, Uber. Uber used to give you $100 for referring. Powered by links. Basically, links are adding more customers because they're experiencing the customer. Watermarks. Basically, removing the watermarks, you have to pay the pro. That is basically forced upgrades. That is also a PLG strategy. It is not very useful in India, and hence I'm not talking about it. Embedded loops. Yes, we have talked about embedded loops, the growth embedded loops within the product where you keep sharing, and external collaboration. That is another way of embedding the loop. That is also an embedded loop, but it is via collaboration. So it's a bit different, but it's the same loop. In India, it's treated similarly because it works similarly. We have not seen Zoom and Miro doing that well in India, like Zoom, and that's clearly because they come under the embedded loop as well as external collaboration. So I think with that we have ended all the topic. I do have a summary of things which are non-negotiables for you at the very end. But before we get there, we have a quiz. Now, how do you apply for? How do you attend the quiz? So unlike KBC, there is no lifeline. There is and the time is limited. For each question, you will get 1 minute, 60 seconds to answer those questions. There are 20 questions. If there is no response, we'll get the next question in a minute, so you can answer. All questions are non-mandatory, but it is good that you apply because there is no negative marking. There's only positive marking. So please attempt. What do you get if you participate? All quiz participants are going to get free resources at the end, and the top 3 of you who top the leaderboard will also get a free book, which is Jugaad to Chakas. This is my book, and I'm going to send it to you personally. So, and it's free, of course. So you just have to top the leaderboard, right? So please start scanning the QR code. And what I'll do, I will also start the quiz for you guys so that you are able to attend them. Okay, I am starting the quiz. Okay, so now all of you can join the quiz. You can see Sankalp and Hurling are also already on the quiz, but we are not going to participate, so don't worry. And please start adding. So Poonam, welcome Poonam, Rahul, Jitin, all have come. Please, if you can put your full name, it's fine, but I think it's good enough right now. All of you who have come, who are entering now, please put your full name. Although I don't think we have repetitions of name in our board right now, so that should be good enough. But please, we have around 20 people. Please participate.
Please share the link.
You want the link? Hold on. You want the link, or let me give you the link? No, not the same Slido link. I think it's a different site Slido link. Not the same. The separate Slido link I've shared. So all of you can join. I see a lot of people who have joined. Jitin, Akshara, Suresh, Arlene, Swapnil. Yes. Once all of you have joined, how many of you are there? Okay, I think we will have one more and we should be good. We have everyone ready? Once all of you say ready, once all of you raise your hands that you are ready, I'll start the quiz. And yes, all the best for the quiz. Yes, I can see all of you are raising hands. Swapnil, I think Swapnil is ready. Swapnil, are you ready? Amit, are you ready? Yes. Raise your hands. Anyone who is not ready, please unmute and speak. If you are having any problem, please speak to us.
Yeah, ready.
We want. Come again.
Yes, sir, ready.
Ready. Okay. Anyone who is not ready, please, or is facing an issue? No. Okay. So we can start. You can all put your hands down. I'll lower all your hands and we will start. So 3, 2, 1, start. You can see the timer on your screen. The first question is, what are the main benefits of product-led growth? This is a multiple choice question. You can put more. You can answer more number of options. Once you are done, you within the next 40 minutes, it will be a new option. So within the 1 minute that you have, mark as many options that you want. Then we'll move on to the next question. Last 10 seconds. Okay. Yes. Good answers. We'll move on to the next one. These are the correct ones for you to see. Okay, moving on to the next question. I think this should not take 1 minute. But yes, I'll still give you 1 minute to answer. To motivate someone to make a purchasing decision, which strategy is more effective? Out of 17, we have 10 answers. We have 13 people who have participated. Once I see the number up to 17, I'll move on to the next slide. We have 2 people who have left. Please answer them. 15 or we have 15. We 2 are not participating. Okay, got it. So I think all of you have answered. Okay. Showing them the whoa, every one of you are correct in this. Nice. All right. Does product-led growth apply only to B2B SaaS? Yes or no? Mm-hmm. 11. This will go to 15. 12. You guys are answering really fast. Very good. I think I have given more time. I should reduce the time for these 2 options. 13 people. 2 people left. 2 of you are left. You have 30 seconds. Yes or no? There is no negative marking. Please answer. Don't Google, please. Yes or no? You have less than 10 seconds. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Oh, we missed one. Why? Why did we miss? No, and the answer is correct. Okay. Let's get to some more. What makes a free user upgrade to a happy paying customer? Okay, you have seen the 5 options. Go ahead. Which one is it? Or is it more than one options? very good competition is going on. I would say all of you are really attempting really good answers. It's a tough competition. Like it's going to be. I don't know if it's going to be tight. I'm going to run out of books. But yes, 10 people. We have 10 seconds left. 4 of you, please answer. Oh, 13. We need 2 more. 5 seconds. 1 more. Oh, we have 14 now. Okay, 15 answers. Faster time to value. And these are the correct options. A faster time to value. That is going to make you a happy paying customer. Because time is money, everyone likes to have faster stuff. Next question. What is the main goal of having a free product? To help someone become a power user, to help the user solve their problem with your product, to create a pretty looking product for people to learn and use your product, to increase the user's motivation so that they are more likely to learn how to use your product. "30 seconds and we have only 50% of the participants attending this. 8, we have 20 seconds. We have 5 more to go. 10, 11, 4 more, 3 more, 10 seconds left. Put in your answers. No negative marking. Yes. 13, 1 left. Ooh. Okay. And the correct answer is to help users solve their problem. That is why you have a free user. The free product is to help them. Okay, next question. When does user onboarding start? In the product, the first interaction someone has, when they talk with your customer success representative, or billboard posters. When does the user onboarding start? Relatively shorter question. We have 4 more people to attend the quiz. 3 more. 4 more. 20 seconds left. I am not even looking at the leaderboard because of this. 10 seconds left. 5 seconds left. And everyone has answered. Very good. This is the answer. Okay. Look at this. So most of you have got it right. Most of you have got it right. Really good. Okay, moving on. Does user onboarding end after a user has achieved an aha moment? Yes or no? Does user onboarding end after the user has achieved an aha moment? Nine seconds and 2 of you are left. Yes or no? 4 seconds and 1 second. Gone. Correct, every one of you. Moving on. Once a user has signed up, what should our main focus be? The user has signed up. To get to a quick win, sell them your product, send all the content that you have published that you think will be useful for them, or just simply welcome them to the product. "30 seconds, 20 seconds, 15 seconds. I have to wait for another user. If the participant is not participating, you can ping us that you are not participating. No problem. But I think someone else is. There are times it is getting 15. Okay, end of the quiz. we'll get to the answer. What is the answer? Get them to a quick win. So most of you got it correctly, 67%. Very nice. Your user success eventually becomes your success. True or false? Yes or no? These are 30-second questions, so please be fast. 10 seconds left. Amazing, amazing, amazing answers. Very well done, folks. I think this one, all of you will get it right. Yes. PLG strategy doesn't need marketing. 30-second question. True or false? 15 seconds left. 10 seconds left. 5 seconds left. Well, definitely it's false. Oops. It's true. No, we need marketing. I think this is a glitch. I'll correct it. Which options is not a part of PLG strategy? Basically, which options are not part of the PLG strategy? Among this, which are not? This can be a multiple choice question. Multiple answers can be there. Which are the ones which are not a part of PLG strategy? Thirty seconds left, folks. 20 seconds left. Mark your answers. 15 seconds left. 10 seconds left. 5 seconds left. 2 seconds left. Time's up. Okay. Very nice. PLG strategy is completely product team's responsibility. Yes or no? 30-second question. 25 seconds left. 20 seconds left. 5 seconds. Definitely it's false. It is everyone's responsibility. It is not just product team's responsibility. Moving on. Which metric would you measure to improve the percentage of user achieving aha moment? Which metric would you measure to measure the percentage of user achieving aha moment? Thirty seconds left. Mm-hmm. 12 seconds left. I think we all are done. 5 seconds. And we'll quickly head on to the answers. And wow. Yes, these two are the correct option. This is what you measure. If while product growth, the customer grievances are also rising, right? The product is growing and the customer grievances are rising. Which metric would be most impacted? And this is the first metric which will be impacted. Choose the metric. It can be multiple as well. So choose one or two if you feel like, or maybe more. Which are the ones that will be the most impacted? Thirty seconds left. Twenty seconds left. Very tough competition is going on. I can see in the leaderboard, everything is jumping back and forth now. Awesome. 15 of you have answered this question, and we have 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Where are we? Customer satisfaction and net promoter score. These are the ones which will be the most impacted. Yes. If more people are talking about your product, which all metric would be impacted? So there are a lot of chatters around going on around your product. This is a 60-second question. Mm-hmm. Really nice, really nice. Very good answers is going on. Okay, we are left with 15 seconds now. Two of you are left to answer. Please go ahead. One of you are left to answer. 10 seconds left. Shall we move on to the results? Yes, of course. And we have hit 75% of all the questions now. These two, variety coefficient and net revenue churn. These are impacted. Now, the important part is that they can talk badly about you too. Right? They can talk worse about you. I'm not saying talking positive. There's a lot of chatter going on. So it can impact these two. Okay. You are enriching your product with more solutions offered. Which metric would you track? So you are adding more and more solutions onto your product, making it better and better and better. So which one would you track? It is the most important metric for you to track. Okay, 50% have answered. We are only 10 seconds into it. We have 60 seconds left. Okay, we have got 10, 11. I think we'll clock at around 14 and we'll close it. Anyone left to answer? 20 seconds left. And I think all of you have answered. And I think all of you have answered correctly as well. Very nice. And here comes the results. Yes, correct. Feature adoption rate. Which of the following is not a PLG strategy? This is one of the following, or maybe more, or maybe more than one of the following is not a PLG strategy. Which one is it? Twenty seconds left, and we have 8. We need more to answer, I think. Okay. 5, 6 of you are left. 2 of you are left anymore. 3 of you are left, I guess. 1 or 2. Okay. Last few seconds. 5 seconds left. 3, 2, 1, and we go on to the result. Yep, most of you got it correctly. All right. Which of the following are not applying PLG strategy? Another question on which of the following are not. Freshworks, GeoCinema, Zoho, Zoom, Figma. Which one are not? All but the examples you have to read. Okay, 3 of you have answered, and there is 30 seconds left. Oh, wow, 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 wow. This question is really interesting. The answers are really interesting. All right. 8, and we have around 15 seconds left. Last 15 seconds. Very well done, folks. Very well done. This is amazing. All of you are doing really well. Last 5 seconds. And we get to the answer. You know what's the answer? The answer is chat with sales. Because the moment I put a person in front of the product, it's not self onboarding and it's neither seamless. Moving on. Last 2 questions. So Netflix uses user analytics to shoot prompts to upgrade the subscription. Which PLG strategy are they applying the most? Okay, 30 seconds left. 5 and half of you have answered already. And half of you are yet to answer. 20 seconds left. Last 10 seconds. Very well done. Very nice. Very good competition going on right now. Okay. 3, 2, 1, go. Data-driven decisions. A lot of you got correctly. Very nice. Okay. Last question. As a leader, which is or are the most crucial aspects of PLG to implement in the PLG team? Understand the question correctly? Crucial aspects to implement in the PLG team. And we have 30 seconds left. We 75 of you have gone, so around 60% of you have gone so yet. No one likes strict attendance, it seems. Very nice. None of you have selected that. You don't want that. Good, good. We have good leaders now. Very empathetic leaders. Okay, last 10 seconds. 2 of you. You have last 10 seconds and the last question. Congratulations for finishing the quiz. Amazing, guys. Amazing, amazing, amazing. You all are amazing. You all have done brilliantly. And see how many of you got it correctly. This is, and Jitin has topped the leaderboard. Jitin, Rahul, and Lekha, congratulations. You have actually topped the leaderboard in the least amount of time. We will be getting, and I think the hardest question was this one, which is the when does user onboarding start? We all will need to share details, and I think PLF will get to you so that you can they can get the details from you. But yes, all of you did really, really well. If I simply go and try to understand how many of you have done it well, I think if I go over, most of you have got more than 60%, 70% marks, and I think that's really, really good. A few of the questions are marked higher, few of the questions are marked lower because of the complexity of it. But yes, all of you have done exceptionally well. Really, really happy with the outcome. Now, before we close the session, and here is something which I would like to share with all of you based on what all I have learned in product-led growth. And these are my tips, which I share with every other startup. And I consult with startups, something that I always do. And this is coming for free. The first question that I have for you is, can you all think about the names of the people that used to play with when you were 10 years old? You may remember some, but you definitely remember a part of the face, a blurry image. Few of you will have a very brighter image, few of you will have a blurry image. But the first thing is that this is the 5 tips on PLG. Number 1, leverage each other's strengths. Do not say that, you don't know that, cross-functional collaboration will happen when you respect each other's strength. Do not go backbiting on each other saying that usko ye nahi pata, he doesn't know that, she has to learn that, he has to upgrade his communication skill. No, help them. You know what? If you say it like this will sound better next time. Help your teammates. Help them achieve success. If you help your team achieve success, then only will you make your users achieve success. So first is help your teammates. The second thing is embrace diversity of thought. You have diverse people. Diverse people are sitting in this cohort. You have to listen to every one of them. It may sound counterproductive that you have to listen to everyone, but no, it's not. Give it time. It will generate a quality product. Second, be data-driven and user-centric. Be data-driven and user-centric. Why you are data-driven? To remain user-centric. That's it. Showcase value. Show the user value and drive user action. And lastly, learn, do, and scale. You learn, you do it, and you scale, and you do it fast. These are 5 principles that I follow personally in all my team. I have a question for all of you, by the way. Can you name this comic/cartoon? Any one of you, can you name this? Unmute and say.
Archie's?
No. Yes, what else? Any 90s kids? Anyone who has 90s? I don't know. Anyone else who wants to take an... they are all having rings. They're combining their power. Anyone else? Power Rangers? No. Not Power Rangers. They don't have rings. They have something else, I guess. Anyone else who wants to take a dig at it? No? All right. This cartoon is called Captain Planet, right? Captain Planet was a cartoon established to raise awareness around world, the environment protection around world. So at that point of time, there was a lot of industrialization that was going on, and it was going on very badly. So this Cartoon Network basically mentioned that put all your powers together and save the planet. So each of the person belong to something else. There is one called Earth, Water. So Earth, Water, Fire, Wind, and then Heart. Right? The heart is where the sentiment lies. I love this because this relates to PLG so much. And I talk about it a lot in my session, but little bit brief about you. Okay, can you do it all alone? No, you cannot. Even Jack Sparrow couldn't. Even in fiction, it is shown that you need a team. So in reality, you definitely do. And the fact is that if you travel solo, it's really cool. Traveling solo, I always love it, but traveling together is always fun, right? It's more warm. So you do not travel alone in PLG. You think of something, you talk it out with your team. Third, this is the most important, unleash the power of ceremonies. That means you have to conduct 2 different ceremonies as a product leader. One would be strategy focused, vision, ways of working, what to improve. And the second one would be execution focused, where you are largely focused around pace, demo days, retrospective, sponsor reviews, and stuff like that, user feedback, everything that you do. What are ceremonies? Ceremonies are nothing but meetings that you conduct within the PLG cohort with an agenda in focus, so that people don't go haywire. Brainstorming, we are not brainstorming in sideways. No, I'm brainstorming towards the problem solution. I do not want 5 people. If I want everyone to run from place A to place B, I cannot have them 10 people running in 10 different directions. I have want them to run in the same direction so that everyone reaches. Then only the customer will succeed, right? Marriage ceremonies, if someone is coming and the Bharati dissipates within the road, it's weird. You cannot do that. So strategy and execution are separate canes. Strategy, you think. Execution, you act. Keep these 2 separate. I have seen a lot of product leaders not doing this. They merge strategy and execution. Yeah, it serves some purpose. If there's a lot of internal politics, I have seen these things taken care of. But if you separate it out, it also abolishes the internal politics within the team. If there are internal challenges, alignment issues, strategy will drive the alignment, because you cannot keep aligning while executing, right? I will draw out what I want to do first, and then only. I cannot draw and keep building. Imagine how you build your house. You will not build and draw. You will draw and then build. So Please use these. These are very important and very, very, very effective. At least in the strategy part, vision and goal, ways of working are very important. And for execution standpoint, demo design retrospective, you cannot do away with this. Your entire team has to understand what you have done as a product team for them to make the customer succeed. So you do this by hook or by crook. And understand this, clarity only drives growth. Clarity is non-negotiable for you. You have to have the clarity at the very end. All right. What's challenging in a partnership in PLG? You can't keep everyone happy, but you have to keep everyone aligned. So think professionally, not personally around PLG strategy. There is no personal bias coming into picture. And if there is someone who is creating a lot of trouble, extinguish them. Make them visible. Engage all other influencers who would help you take the decision, intervene, set expectation, and keep tracking. Right? We also call it PIP in our time. And these are my 3 mantras that you have to do personally for yourself as a product leader. Decide only with evidence. Prioritize user need and solve to scale. Do not solve for 5 users. No, solve to scale 500, 5 lakh, 5 million. Drive empathy and ownership within the team. If you can do these 3, I think most of the problems will start solving on its own as you scale. And if you have any other questions further to this, you have my QR code where you will land on my LinkedIn, or you have my website from where you can you will have access to all the other areas of interest that I have and what do I do around it, around consulting, around one-on-one coaching, around career counseling, around helping you resume correct your resume and stuff. Basically anything related to startups and career is I'm the coach. So yes, that is the end of my session. I hope all of you had fun. I had a lot of fun interacting with all of you. If you have any further questions, please go ahead and ask.
That's great, Sankalpa. Thank you for delivering such a great session. You've provided some really thought-provoking insights and a lot of information that I know our attendees are going to benefit from. So thank you for that. Just give me a second.
Yes, but if anyone else has any further questions, what I would suggest is you all can reach out to me personally, right? If you want to want a one-on-one question, and all of you can ask me whatever questions that you have in your mind around this, any further questions, doubts, sort of things. But yes, I think that's the end of it. Harleen, please go ahead. I think we need to collect details.
Thank you so much, Sankalpa. We've enjoyed having you with us, and it has been a complete pleasure. Please accept the certificate of appreciation from the Institute. The QR code on the certificate will take you to a dedicated Hall of Fame page created for you with the recording of the session. We will also be sharing the webinar recording on our YouTube channel as well. Thank you so much, Sankalpa. Appreciate
Yes,
it.
and I do have one link for all of them to share the, but I think we will skip that. I wanted all of them to share their own what they thought about this, and I think I'll share this in the chat. If anyone wants to go ahead and share what they felt while attending the session, please go ahead and share your thoughts. I
Rekha is
have.
telling us that she thoroughly enjoyed the session.
Yes, I saw that. Thank you so much. But please go ahead and give your feedback. This will help me understand also what all aspects that you liked, what all you didn't. And please go ahead and answer all the questions. What did you learn today? How it is going to help you? And there's just 3 questions there. So it should be really short for you. So please go ahead and ask your poll. We are not going to ask for any personal information. The link is in the chat, and you can go ahead and please park your feedback around it. Yes, thank you so much, Amit and Lekha.
And as for the quiz, as it was mentioned, all participants of the quiz will receive some resources, and we will get in touch with you via email with these resources. And the winners, the top 3 winners, I will also get in touch with you after to sort out details for you to receive Sankalpa's book. Okay.
Okay, all right. So basically for the top three, I think I would need the address so that I can send the book. Otherwise, and I think I cannot mail an ebook. I do not have an ebook. I am a pen and paper guy. So I have the physical copy which I can send it to you, all of you. Yes, and for all other, I will share a link. I can share a link. Well, let me share a link right away. Why wait? Uh, I'm doing product led growth and I cannot wait for this. Wait, let me send it. This is where you will find all the resources. I am adding a new resource here as well. That will be up by next week, and you can basically here you will find two things right now. You will find the how to user study, a quick guide for user study. It is very helpful. I use it very much. I love it because I started using it when I was a noob in user study, and I still use it. And I've kept on adding on to it. The second is resume builder. If you are looking out for a career shift, this will help you curate your resume using the power of AI. It's brilliant. You should do it. And I'm recently launching something else. Questions that are important for product managers, right? And interview questions. And that will be coming up in about a week's time. Please visit it again on the next Saturday and you will find that live. I'm constantly upgrading the bestseller and the resources page. So keep on visiting every month and you'll find one or two upgrades there. But yes, as of now you can find two, and it should be coming up. You could not open this link. Why? I'm opening this link. Okay, you're not able to open this link. It should be openable. It should be. Can you clear your cache? I think it should be
She's
working.
saying she's able to open it now.
Yes. Okay. There's a previous to this, there was another link shared. Please click on that link and please park your feedback as well. That will help me understand you. And I think that's it. We are more or less done here. Uh, do you want me to do you want to run a poll here right now or you don't?
I think we'll have to wrap up due to time constraints.
Okay. All right. Got it. Cool. Thank you so much, everyone. I'm in Dubai. Send me an ebook. Yeah, I'll try to. I'll try to. Let me see what I can do. Yes, the book is also available in Amazon, Amit. Yes. All right. Thank you so much, everyone. Thank you so much for an amazing session. I think you all were brilliant around what you did. It was a very good, engaging session for me as well. I really loved it. I really loved interacting with all of you. It was really cool. And yes, keep being awesome. This is really, really a great session. All of you did really, really well. I hope we learned something. Any further question, please get back to me. And yes. Over to you, Harleen, finally, and completely from my side. End of user onboarding for me.
Thank you so much for that brilliant session. There is this. I will send across this certificate to you. I would appreciate
Okay.
it if you.
Okay. Thank you so much, folks. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Thank you, Ankur. Thank you, Jiten. Bye bye. Harleen, you are on mute.
Thank you. To all our attendees, if you enjoyed this session, we have something else you will enjoy. It is our newsletter, which is a treasure trove of product management, strategy, and leadership tips and insights. You can subscribe to stay updated with the product community. We also host various knowledge sharing events just like today's. You can keep up to date with them by the link in the chat. Our next one is on the 30th of November, this Thursday, on the topic design thinking. I want to thank you all for joining in and giving us your valuable time. If I could request you to take a few minutes out of your time to scan the QR code on the screen and leave any reviews, feedback, or queries, I would really appreciate it. I'll wait a few seconds so that you can actually scan the code there, I think. Well, finally, I want to thank you once again for being here today, and I hope you've had a fruitful time at this session. And I look forward to hosting you in the future. On that note, I will end today's session. Thank you, everyone. Have a great day.